Dating can feel like a dream in the beginning. Late night talks, endless laughter, and the excitement of new love. But sometimes that dream slowly shifts into something unsettling. You start feeling confused, second-guessing yourself, or even guilty for things that aren't your fault. That's when you might realize you're not just dating someone, you're dating a manipulator. Manipulators don't always show their true colors right away. They may come across as caring, charming, and attentive at first. But over time, certain patterns emerge. Patterns designed not to love you, but to control you. In this video, we'll explore 5 clear signs you're already dating a manipulator, how to recognize them, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Sign 1, they twist your words and feelings. One of the first and clearest signs of manipulation is when your partner constantly twists your words or invalidates your feelings. You may bring up something that hurt you, only for them to respond with, "You're overreacting. That's not what I said," or "You're too sensitive." Instead of listening and acknowledging your perspective, they dismiss it entirely. Psychologists call this gaslighting, a tactic where someone makes you question your own memory, perception, and even sanity. Over time, you start doubting yourself. You think, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe it really is my fault. This is exactly what the manipulator wants, to make you feel unstable so they can maintain control. Pay attention to how you feel after conversations. Do you leave feeling heard and understood, or do you leave feeling confused and guilty? If it's the latter, you may already be caught in a manipulator's web. Sign 2, they use guilt as a weapon. Another red flag is when guilt becomes their go-to tool. Manipulators are masters at making you feel responsible for their happiness, their anger, or even their failures. If they're upset, it's your fault. If they make a mistake, it's because you didn't support them enough. If you want space or independence, they accuse you of being selfish. This is called emotional blackmail. It's the idea that love comes with strings attached, that you must sacrifice your needs to keep them satisfied. For example, they may say things like, "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me," or "I guess I just don't matter to you." Healthy relationships are about compromise, but manipulators don't compromise. They coerce. They want you to feel so guilty that you give in every time, without questioning if your needs matter too. Sign 3, they control through silence and withdrawal. Manipulation isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, painfully quiet. If your partner punishes you by giving you the cold shoulder, ignoring your calls, or withholding affection until you behave, that's manipulation. This is known as the silent treatment, and it's a powerful psychological weapon. Humans are wired to crave connection, especially with someone we love. When that connection is suddenly cut off, we panic. Manipulators know this and use silence to make you chase them, apologize for things you didn't do, or give in just to restore peace. But here's the truth, love shouldn't feel like walking on eggshells. If silence is being used as punishment instead of healthy communication, it's not love, it's control. Sign 4, they keep you off balance with hot and cold behavior. Perhaps one of the most confusing signs of manipulation is hot and cold treatment. One moment, they're incredibly affectionate, sending you sweet messages, planning exciting dates, or making you feel like the most important person in the world. The next, they're distant, irritable, or uninterested. This push and pull dynamic is intentional. Psychologists compare it to variable reinforcement, the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. You never know when you'll get love or when you'll get coldness, so you cling tighter, hoping the affection returns. Manipulators thrive on this cycle because it keeps you hooked. Ask yourself, is their love consistent or does it feel like an unpredictable game? Real relationships are built on stability, not emotional roller coasters. And sign 5, they isolate you from support. Finally, one of the most dangerous signs you're dating a manipulator is when they try to isolate you from friends, family, or other support systems. At first, it might sound harmless. They may say, "Your friends don't really understand us," or "Your family doesn't want to see you happy." But over time, you notice you're spending less time with loved ones and more time under their influence. This tactic is about cutting off your lifeline. When you're isolated, it's easier for the manipulator to control you because there's no one around to remind you of your worth or point out red flags. If your partner consistently discourages outside relationships or makes you feel guilty for wanting time apart, that's not love, it's domination. Why manipulators do this? You might wonder, why would someone who claims to love you treat you this way? The answer lies in psychology. Manipulators often struggle with insecurity, fear of abandonment, or an obsession with control. Instead of building love through trust, they build it through power. To them, control feels safer than vulnerability. But here's the harsh reality. No matter their reasons, manipulation is toxic. You deserve a relationship where love is freely given, not earned through guilt, silence, or fear. How to protect yourself. If you recognize these signs, the first step is awareness. Once you see manipulation clearly, it loses much of its power. But awareness isn't enough. You need action. Here are some steps to protect yourself. Set boundaries. Clearly state what behavior is unacceptable. For example, if you give me the silent treatment, I won't chase you. I'll wait until you're ready to communicate respectfully. Seek outside perspectives. Talk to trusted friends or family. Manipulators thrive on secrecy. Exposing their behavior breaks their control. Don't justify their actions. Stop making excuses like they had a tough childhood or they're just stressed. Those may be true, but they don't excuse manipulation. 4. Consider professional help. Therapy can provide clarity and tools to rebuild your self-esteem if manipulation has taken a toll. 5. Be willing to walk away. Sometimes the only way to protect yourself is to leave. Manipulators rarely change unless they take responsibility, and you can't force that. The painful truth. Dating a manipulator is painful because it chips away at your sense of self. You may find yourself confused, exhausted, or even ashamed. But remember this. The fact that you're questioning whether you're being manipulated is already a sign of strength. It means your instincts are fighting back, telling you something isn't right. Love should not make you doubt your own worth. Love should not make you feel small, guilty, or controlled. The sooner you recognize manipulation, the sooner you can free yourself and open the door to healthier connections. Manipulators often hide behind charm, affection, and promises, but the signs eventually show. Twisting your words, using guilt, punishing with silence, running hot and cold, and isolating you from support. If you see these patterns, don't ignore them. They're not quirks or misunderstandings, they're warnings. The good news is, you have the power to spot them, call them out, and protect yourself. You don't need to settle for someone who manipulates you into staying. You deserve a partner who builds love on respect, trust, and honesty. Have you ever realized you were dating a manipulator? What was the biggest red flag you noticed? Share your story in the comments below. Your insight could help someone else recognize the signs before it's too late. And if this video gave you clarity, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content on psychology, relationships, and self-growth. Remember, the right relationship doesn't leave you confused or controlled. It makes you feel safe, valued, and free to be yourself. Stay aware, stay strong, and never let manipulation disguise itself as love.